There we go, enough of that. Enough of that. Okay, stop. I think I can close that
Buttons
as well.
right this morning.
I think I got the buttons right for this morning. Yeah. 5 people here already. G'day, good morning. Who's there? Say hello. Hello, hello.
Hello.
I didn't get that video ready, did I?
That's right.
Where is it? Where is it? Let me see quickly. No, I don't think I can do it because I've got the other thing on set up on top. But is it there? Is it hello, hello, hello? I think it's past the use by.
Yeah.
You got to have it ready, otherwise it doesn't work.
Come up with something else.
So, how's your head this morning, Mr. Todd?
All I can say is 24 hours is a long time. I wasn't feeling all that crash hot yesterday.
Yeah.
I went out with my my mate Fidel again. So went to a bar that had that rock and roll band that we spoke about last week.
Yes, yeah. I've got some footage of that, so I've got to put that together and see if I can, see if I can dodge all the music. What do you call it? The music claims for somebody else's music from a live band that we were listening to. Depending on how good they were, sometimes they can trick the algorithms. But we'll sort of put that together. And it's going to take a few days to do that one and get it, YouTube to sort its, algorithm out and do the music matching up. Hey, g'day Ralph, how you doing? Good to have you along. Who else is there? We've got 8 people there, and I need sort of.
I think everyone's if they're in Australia, getting ready for the end of daylight savings. I think that finishes in Australia this weekend. So
is it?
They get their hour back or something like that. Or
get their hour back, or they lose an hour.
Yeah.
At least
never work out daylight savings.
We don't get faded curtains here,
No.
This is Thailand.
And the cows give milk every day, so don't have to worry about that.
Do they? Oh, really? Interesting,
I
isn't
think
it?
that was one of the issues. I can't remember which state. I think it was either Queensland or Northern Territory said, we can't have daylight savings because it'll upset the cows and their milking times and everything like that. It's like, okay, cows don't care.
They don't
cows
care.
Don't know.
Yeah. They will give milk, and it's just you get up either an hour earlier or an hour later. Just wake the hell up, seriously.
Yeah.
But US just made daylight saving a year-round thing, did they? I haven't heard anything about that, Ralph, but sounds interesting. I don't know how you
just keep at the same time.
Well, I always thought, like in Australia, in Sydney, for instance, you got this hour shift. Why don't you just pick half an hour and just set your time there? That made sense to me. But then, of course, people in Broken Hill, still being part of Australia, they would have complained. But, honestly, it's just a time. It's just a clock. Live by the clock.
World issues.
First world issues. That's exactly right. So yeah, look, we've had a few people on our Discord. Don't forget this will link to the Discord if you want to come and join in the conversation down here. You can even put the camera on and sort of be part of the panel. It's up to you guys. But yeah, we were talking this week about the dating game, so we thought let's talk about it. Again, it's it's a whole minefield of issues to deal with here in Thailand. And now, okay, technically, I'm still dating after 13 years because we're not married. But we're as good as married. But our friend Cody, he's just been going through a breakup a couple of weeks ago and had to deal with that. And the aftermath of the dating sort of scene. And of course, we've had our new friend Victor. He's been sort of popping in from time to time. He's been asking lots and lots of questions about the dating game and gender and the gender archetypes and everything else here in Thailand. And I thought it would be a some interesting conversation. What's that? Like Native American? Yeah, okay, let me just show that one. Okay. Like a Native American Indian said, only a white man could cut 2 inches off one end of a blanket and sew it to the other end and call it longer. Exactly. Yeah, this g'day Paul. He was one of the ne'er-do-wells, was out with us last night, and for the inaugural April 1st blowjob party day. Oh my God!
I'm sorry I missed it. I've seen some of the footage, and another friend of yours, Niall, put up a video already, and looked like a lot of fun. There was no way after going out Thursday night and seeing that rock band I could back it up on a second day. The mind's willing, but reality check yesterday, the body takes longer to recuperate.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah, so there was look, if you didn't know, there is a drink made with Baileys and Kahlua. It has whipped cream on top, and it actually goes by the name of a blow job. Okay, so that was the April 1st or April Fool's joke of the whole promotion. But yeah, so I was drinking Coke last night because I rode in there on my bike, and I had first time ever I've had four blow jobs in one night. How's that? I think on Niall's video, Niall's already got his video up. God, the guy's been freaking. How does he do that? I don't know. Seriously, what, did he not go to sleep last night? Takes me 2 hours to put a video together. He couldn't have done that last night. But anyway, Niall does have a video up. It's unlisted at the moment. He's making sure that there's a couple of people in there in that video that he wanted to get a second approval from, to make sure that it was okay to go live with. It just wants to make sure that was all hunky-dory, because we know that we know and respect the guys that run these establishments now, because we've met them all, and they're a great bunch of blokes. So we just want to do the right thing by them. None of this secret, what they call hidden camera work that you sort of see that's pervasive in the the YouTube scene, which, by the way, now under community standards, as from April 1st, is a point that can have your channel completely banned now. It's against the community standards to film people without what they call the hidden cam or the secret cam, upskirting and all that sort of stuff is now an offence within the YouTube community. You've got to get approvals. You don't have to get approvals in writing, but you basically got to make sure that the girls are all hunky-dory and all that sort of stuff. So we got some footage. That'll be a video out in probably about a week in my channel. Paul probably have his out tomorrow, because Niall got his out today. Oh my God, seriously, a lot of work. Jack Dorrington. Gay shaggers. The dating game, don't know anything about that. Yes, I know Robert's been dating for 30 odd years, but he did the right thing, and he actually made it all legitimate, got her married and all that sort of stuff, and even had kids. Oh my God. You can't back up lightweight, mate.
Like I said, the mind's willing. It's just I've got to come to some sort of reality. I'm not 21 anymore. I understand that, so I just have to pace myself, I think.
Yeah.
Because I use that saying, go hard or go home. So when I start a session, I go hard.
Well, look, you've got to face the fact that the guy we're drinking with, this Fidel, right?
Yep.
He actually has the record for the most beer at that bar. Okay.
Yeah.
He 13 pints in one night or something, wasn't it? 13 of those.
He got 14. 14. Yeah.
But they're a pint or a litre? I don't know that.
They're the big bottles of Leos. So
750 mils. 750 mils.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So this bigger than a pint. So the seven. Do we call them Darwin Stubbies? I thought Darwin Stubbies were the litre, weren't they? Yeah.
Darwin Stubbies are a litre from memory, but these are pretty close. Like when I went and bought my first 2-pack at 7-Eleven when I got here, I'm going, is it just me or are these bottles appearing bigger?
Exactly.
So, yeah, but he's a good guy. Like he's helped me out a fair bit since I arrived, and he wants you involved with because these bars, and if you've watched the video we did last time, are local bars. They're not Munga bars. They're local Thai bars, and you want to experience real Thai life, you go to these bars. They either drink out of the paper cups, or they get the beer bucket, and you drink the beer from the beer bucket. And no cold beer. You get your nam ken. You've got to have nam ken in your ice in your
ice in drinking beer with ice in it. I know there's a lot of Australians seem to sort of have an issue with that, but hey, when in Rome, as they say. Darwin, sorry, that we got corrected. Darwin's stubby is 2 litres.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think it's the drive from Alice Springs to Darwin in a road train is I think 6 Darwin stubbies. They measure it how long it takes to drink a Darwin stubby or something. That's how long it takes to get there or something. Australians, only Australians would come up with shit like that. But I think Fidel, he would definitely sort of qualify for a drinking round in Australia at a barbie any day.
Oh yeah. He'd keep up with the best of them, and then probably go further.
Unlike these teetotalers we know around the place, Oh my God. Anyway, moving right along. You both, g'day, how you doing? 7 days. 7 days to go. Okay, there you go. PTMD, g'day everyone. About 25 ounces. Okay. Crate bottles. Darwin stubby still big bottles of Leo. Chanya says 630 mils, are they? I thought they were 750. So maybe they are only 630. Maybe they are only pints. I've never really looked at them. But anyway. So we're getting back to this. Apart from last night, it was a lot of fun. But Todd will have to live vicariously through the video we took.
No, I didn't go.
But but Thursday I got footage for Thursday night as well, so it gives you an idea of sort of the 2 different paradigms between partying in the city versus partying in Thaiville. That's probably the best way I put it. Work calls, okay. Well, that's a bit of a shit, but I guess that's what happens when you're the other side of the planet. Excuse me. Well, that coffee's sort of, maybe it's all a Pepsi I had last night. Still coming up and repeating on me. Not used to that, all that fizzy drink. But anyway, I was happily having my GoPro here last night. So it's been ordered. It's on delivery cycle. It just hasn't arrived yet.
Murphy's Law. You'll get that phone call halfway through this stream.
Yeah. I wish it was here last night because it has a low light feature, which does better for the footage. But yeah, where are we right now? Get any idea? Any closer? It still says to receive. Says April 1st. Attempt to deliver your parcel from courier was unsuccessful. What, at 22:50 on April the 1st?
Last night.
Yes, sorry. There was somebody here last night. What the ridiculous people. No call to me. Anyway, it looks like it won't come till Monday now. Such is life. Okay. Niall, there's the bad boy Niall. He had 4 blowjobs last night as well. Sorry I didn't make it. Yes. Good morning, Shannon J. Good morning. I think Shannon's here now. You've made it over here successfully now, haven't you, Shannon? If I remember correctly. I'm just trying to remember the dates of everybody coming and going. Oh my God. Other side of the planet and work nights just after 8 p.m. Friday. Yeah, fair enough. Night Shift. It was a good movie about that, wasn't it? I'm ready for planning my next trip already. Yes. Off topic, but Thai pass was very easy to get. Thai visa was also easy. They gave me 90 days single entry with 24 hours for applying. Yeah, look, they're trying to get people back. They're doing all the sort of jiggery pokery to sort of thwart the system, and they're starting to treat the whole issue as a head cold now, mostly for most people, which is really what it is. It's nothing more than sort of something we'll just get used to. Niall, I'll be listening, guys, but not typing. I'm in the process of moving, so got my hands full right now. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, so getting back to this dating game, this is the conversation. So one of the things that did crop up, and we've actually talked about this before on the live stream, not Cambodia, okay. Yeah, one of the things that did crop up in that conversation is, this is going to obviously annoy all the snowflake, what are snowflake arseholes out there, the people who are the politically correct and the gender duality, stick artists that really just can't get with the program, right? They don't understand gender dysphoria, right? Because they are so black and white. We've got two genders, male and female, right? End of story. We're not having a conversation about this. Well, wait. Seriously, no time for these people. But yeah, Nyland is Nyland. Nyland. This is Nyland. Thailand is one of the most gender diverse countries on this planet, and they have a number of different gender archetypes and how that all goes together. And we were talking about this on the stream. I thought it adds to this whole dating game. We'll get people asking questions here, hopefully, about the dating game, about our opinions of certain things. Maybe. Alternatively, we'll queue up this thing here so that we can actually sort of look at the list and talk about each one of these particular gender archetypes as part of the discussion process. Yes, mate, good morning from sunny John TM. Yes, been here back 3 weeks off Chiang Mai on Monday for 5 days. Yeah, cool. It's done a few days around. Yeah, good. Let me just get the screens all set up because Todd will want to see what we're talking about as well.
Yes, I'm with it. I'm with it today. I wasn't yesterday.
We go there. Go there. Right, and then I turn me off there. So. Right, then don't display my screen. Oh yeah, confirm. Right, okay. Now, right,
now you got still.
When I do this, I can then you can see this. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, sort of all the jiggery pokery. Everybody uses StreamYard these days for their live stream because it's just a few buttons, but you can't do all this sort of jiggery pokery. Well, I suppose you can to a degree, but yeah, I prefer to do it the old-fashioned way, or the technically. Wazza, another Wazza here. That's what we're going to have a sort of a paradox, are we? Morning all, made it to Thailand in Sisaket Isan. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Tommy J. Joe Elliott, good morning, still nothing here, Mark. Using sprinklers as long as there's water in the tank. Yeah, I'll let you guys talk about it. Anyway, so we were talking about this whole thing of the gender archetypes. The Thailand having these 18 different gender types. It's actually more when we start to break it down. But it was worth having a chat about, because again, people don't understand the complexity of how the dating game works here, and if you don't understand the different archetypes and the gender dysphoria of this nation. Now, I'm not sort of using gender dysphoria as a negative connotation. This is wraps it all into one sort of banner or group of ideas that these what do you call it? What's the psychologists psychologists like to put things in boxes, you know, and they come up with this thing called gender dysphoria, which means the fact that your identity doesn't match your genealogy or whatever it is. And it's how you identify as yourself. And we get this. I've seen all the memes out there. You know, like the motorcyclist. He identifies as a push bike rider, and he's winning all the Tour de France races. And you get the idea. Yeah, there's so many times it's enough. Anyway, moving right along. As the world's favourite sex change surgery destination, Thailand definitely takes the cake in its recognition of the complexity of human sexuality. There are, in fact, 18 gender identities that are recognisable in the local lexicon, according to Rocket News 24. Is that what we call it? This is Next Shark. This is obviously sort of a take on somebody else's thing. They're just rehashing it, which is we're just rehashing the rehash. There you go. Japanese Twitter user blah 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 discovered the chart listing all 18 genders in Thailand and shared them on Twitter. Right, but we're not going to go to Twitter. We'll just read it here. So he's got them written down here. So let's actually go through them. Okay, there is, of course, starting at the top, we've got a straight male, which is a male, a man who likes women, which is pretty much the majority of the people coming to Thailand. And not sort of saying that all men coming to Thailand are looking for the women. The people like to play the game. But yeah, that's the first archetype. The second archetype is a female who likes men. So they're the two predominant gender archetypes that we're all familiar with, which all the ones from below this, those people who only deal with the two top, they'll find offence in everything I say here. So there you go. What's this there? We had to reprime the pump up exactly, but fair enough. What was that? I'm missing. The conversation's going 10 to the dozen today. Yeah, okay. I hear there's over 100 different genders worldwide. Yeah, well, look, I haven't seen that list. I'm just going to work on the list we have here. That's pretty much identifies what you'll find here in the dating scene here in Thailand. And one of the biggest problems is the fact that just when you're on those apps or on those websites, the dating websites, you can never tell who's on the other side. And this is where most of the problems really sort of fall apart when we start to look at the issue. People just don't know what they're getting in for. Okay, so there's the Tom. Now, a Tom is a woman who dresses like a man and likes women, or Ds, which we'll get to that in a minute. Now, so we would probably, in Australia, we have the term a tomboy. That tended to be when I was dating in Australia, that tended to be the girls that I would date. A girl that could, pass the 5/8 spanner under the car when you're working the car. She knows which hole to put the oil into. She knows which one the water goes into. They're the girls I used to date. The ones that can help you fix the car. That was in my 20s. And they're the best type. If you can get the pretty ones, right, you're basically laughing. And not all the tomboys are really all that hot crash hot. But I said if they can change a tyre, then they can come riding with you. Is that right, Todd? I think Todd knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I mean, we've spoken about it earlier on. Is that to me, if someone is good looking in your eyes, good looking in your heart, good looking in your head, what's the issue? So yeah, I actually dated a girl lesbian hairdresser when I was younger. An awesome chick, absolutely awesome. Yeah, could change the tyre by herself, did not want help, but easy to get along with. It's all about whether you can communicate or not.
Yeah, so. It's all about the communication. And I think that's, again, getting back to my disdain for all these apps. Okay, a written word is only 1/5 of the five senses that you can deal with, and how you actually can make firm decisions based on what's written, and play the dating game on written text. God, we've all read Mills. We all know the Mills and Boon books, don't we? It's all fake, and I'm pretty sure they all know it too. Dallo's here. Dallo's in the house. I'll be getting a flu shot in a few weeks. What, the COVID flu? Is that the one you're talking about? Hopefully tomorrow things get better. We've got Robert back in Asia. G'day, Robert. We had a bit of a full house, in and out. Can we talk about the fourth gender? That's the gender that know how to fit stuff into the car without doing for the fourth gender. Spatial association is just something that's an art form in itself. I don't think there's any particular gender excels at that. I've seen people trying to put freaking sofas in the back of a car. I don't know. That's why they give you those little ball things, with little squares and triangles and shapes and stars. When you're really young, you can put,
recognition toy.
Yeah, that's it.
The shape and spatial.
They don't give those to kids anymore. They give them mobile phone apps. So that's it. Anyway, a D is a woman who likes mainly women or toms. Okay, and you'll find these on the dating apps without a problem. Some of them have pretty sexy pictures, and all they're looking for is money. A tom gay, a woman who likes women, toms and Ds. A tom gay king, a manly tom who likes toms. Right? There's bisexual, a woman who likes bisexuals, toms, lesbians and men. Okay, I think that's a term where I think we get in Western culture as well. That's a fairly sort of common one. A boat. A boat is a man who likes women, gay kings. Gay kings. From gay king, maybe. Gay kings. That's a gay king here. A man who likes. Okay. A tom who a boat is likes women, gay kings, gay queens. Does not include ladyboys. Okay, it's confusing. There's a gay queen, a womanly man who likes men, a gay king, a manly man who likes men, and a tom gay two-way, a tom who can both be a tom gay king and a tom gay queen, tom gay queen. A womanly tom who likes toms, a lesbian, a woman who likes women. Well, I think we're familiar with that term, a woman who likes women. Katoi ladyboy. Now, this is where I find this is quite inaccurate, because they've lumbered this all into one group, and yet there is 4 specific categories in here that aren't well defined. And that's why I'd like to obviously just spend a few minutes on that as well. Right, a katoi and a ladyboy are not the same. Under no circumstances here in Thai culture can a katoi and a ladyboy be considered the same. A katoi is what would probably more commonly call in the West is a cross-dressing male. Right, so they live and work as a male, right, and then they put the girls' clothes on, the makeup on, and go out and party. Right, that is what we would call a katoi. They generally don't have breast augmentation or gender reassignment. They live their day-to-day earning life, making money in life, in a regular job as a male, and then when they're outside the purview of their bosses and their social strata, then they dress up. That would be a katoi. A ladyboy, and again a ladyboy. There's 3 different definable cases here with ladyboys. We have in Thailand. Well, actually, probably I would even say 4. But we'll work it out as 3. So ladyboy, sao song, which is more of a unified term, which is socially acceptable, and there's no circumstance should be going to a bar or chatting anybody up online and asking them, are they a ladyboy? You know, you better sort of, go to the right websites, read their profiles, and use the term transgender or salsong, and you might have a better chance of winning the game there. Ladyboy is a term that's really used between friends. It's it's just one of those. We've been talking about sort of banya on. Right? It's like it's like ding dong banya on. These are Thai terms that are used within different friends. You wouldn't sort of go to somebody you never met and say kun banya on, which is you're retarded.
Oi, mate.
To somebody you never know. And again, if it's sort of calling them ding dong, you would never sort of say that to somebody you never know. This is a polite society most of the time, and these are sort of things that you say between friends. That is, for joking and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, as for ladyboy, there's three definable types. There's what they call pre-op, there's post-op, and there's non-op. When we sort of say pre-op, they're the ones that you will tend to find looking for farang boyfriends or farang partners who can assist them with the high costs of gender transitions, whether that being sort of paying for their hormones, which I think are typically a transitional going through that gender transition. The hormones I think come in about 600 or 700 baht a month for your hormones. Breast augmentation, you're looking at starting price there at 45,000 baht. Your gender reassignment, you're looking maybe 130, 140,000 baht. No guy or male in transition to female can generally afford those sort of those costs. Considering the fact that their income is probably 10,000 baht a month, and they've got to put a roof over their head and sort of buy clothes as well and makeup. Anyway, so pre-op, but they're the ones you'll find on dating sites trying to hit you up and sort of help you pay for the sick buffalo. There is the post-op, which is where Chanya falls into. She falls into the post-op, which means she's gone through the whole gender reassignment process, and she has her personality and her raison d'être, right, is a female in every sense of the word. There's never a time that I even sort of doubt that that Chanya is male or was male. It never even crosses my mind. She's all girl, and those are the real catches that really sort of fit into that special category. The fact that Chanya won't do it, but she'll want me to change the tyres on the car. But there's just things she does that are her mannerisms. You just feel really comfortable around her, and I don't want to go into the whole stuff. You've seen them. You've seen our vlog. You know what I'm talking about. And then of course there's the last category, which is non-op. Now, generally, the men that come to Thailand looking for a salsong ladyboy fling, they are actually sort of looking specifically at the non-op category. The non-op category are the girls generally sort of had breast augmentation, but under no circumstances are they considering to have a gender reassignment. They like their man parts, and they like to play with their man parts just like a male does, and they like to have man parts put into orifices that might seem uncomfortable for people, if I can say that properly. Come on, this is YouTube. Try to work around all the bullshit community standards. It's really quite difficult. What we would probably in Western cultures call them a top. That's the third category, and again you'll get a lot of those on dating sites as well. Generally the post-op salsong you won't find on the dating sites because they've done their transition and they've generally found themselves a partner, and they're really they're no longer on the playing field. generally. I was lucky to have met Chanya in that sort of process. She had done her gender reassignment 2 years before we met. She was in a relationship with a Japanese guy, but the Japanese guy, he didn't like the fact that she did the gender reassignment because he likes the chicks with dicks, if you know what I mean. So that whole thing just basically fell apart, and you could say I was on the rebound, but like after I think they break up. Well, it was 9 months before I met Chanya, but Chanya really hadn't found another partner or a boyfriend in that 9 months. So I probably was on the rebound to some level, but that's why she asked me out, and I was the catch. She did that one pretty good. But yeah, so that's the Katoi ladyboy sort of genre. What's it? SRS is absurdly expensive in the US. Without insurance, my wife's SRS would be about 100,000 in today's money. There's a reason why medical tourism in Thailand. Yeah, and again, so this is the thing that I always find absurdly, or not absurdly, I find difficult to grasp is this whole thing, right? And this is where Western society really goes wrong, which is in Australia, right? We have what they call a public health system, and that's paid for by your taxes, right? If you want to have gender reassignment, like here in Thailand, it's your money and you're putting the bill, right? Why you would be paying insurance and then knowing that your insurance that you're paying, right, goes into a big pool to help other people out to go through these experiences, I find that hard to grasp. Right, basically it's a personal journey, right? It should be always sort of personally funded, and it should be under no circumstances be part of any sort of medical insurance genre whatsoever, right? You're the one who wants to change your sex, you're the one who pays the bill. End of story. Not even going to enter into the conversation, but I'm a little bit of a stickler for that, growing up in Australia and the bullshit we have to deal with the Australian medical system. I've never really needed it. The times I've used medical insurance, out-of-pocket expenses, I'm going, why people even bother with this shit, I've got no idea. Don't get sick to start with. Anyway. I got to Thailand for a holiday. That's just me. Right? Okay. Remember scenes of Hangover 2. No end of the freak. Okay, right. Okay, all the Putin jokes out now. But anyway, so let's move along from the Katoi ladyboy sort of genre. Yeah, it's the medical insurance. No, I don't want to go there. It's just if you want to change your gender, and fine. But don't expect somebody else to pay for it. That's the way I stand on it. Anyway, Adam. Adam is a man who likes toms. Which Tom? Okay, Tom is a woman who likes. Okay, so yeah, I suppose some still I would be called an Adam. An Angie, a Katoi that likes toms. Okay, a Cherry, a woman who likes gay men and Katoi. A woman who likes gay men and Katoi. Okay. Samyan, a woman who likes toms, lesbians, women, and can also be any of them. Okay, so that's one size fits all, I guess. So yeah, I think that again. I'm sure there are definable crossovers and splits with those as well to get multiples out of the whole genre, which. But yeah, you're going to be on a dating site. You're going to have one of these archetypes, and you're going to have to know how to work through to find what suits your bill. And that's really what it comes down to when you start to think about it. Stop streaming that. Okay. Now for the conversational part. Under California law, transition-related treatment is deemed medically necessary and insurance is required by law to pay for it. Same as heart surgery. Yeah, sorry. Can't wear that, right? It's just it's just one of those sort of things. I think you have to draw the line somewhere, and I draw the line to the fact that, right, it's your choice, right? You pay the bill. Your choice. You pay the bill, right? There is no medical reason apart from psychology, right, that requires a person to change their gender. There's no illness involved. There is a mental process or a mental dysphoria, right, which does not require medical intervention. End of story, right? And I'm on the sort of side of the psychologist with that. My daughter, of course, is a she's done psychology. We've had to deal with this stuff when she was going to university, and we had long conversations about it. Although I've never done psychology, right? I've had to sort of live in a house with going through the whole process. But anyway, and we had long, great conversations about this. Yeah, so Todd Austin, what cool Paul? Okay, so we're working out next Friday's party. Okay. Hi, Jen. Just about Jen's in the house. G'day, Jen. Is hermaphrodite agenda? Well, I have.
That's a hard one. Yeah.
It is. This is a weird one. It comes into like this less than 0.001% of the human population fall into this this particular boat. Look, I've seen the pictures. I think a lot of males have seen the pictures of the what they call engorged clitoris. You know what I mean, and how far that engorgement of a clitoris, and how big those things can be. That's a bit of a strange one. I have yet to see medical proof that a person has been born with both male and female genitalia, which means like ovaries and testicles, right? Unless of course they're a Siamese twin, or something like that, something happened in the womb like that. That's the only way it can really form, right? Basically, the ovaries are the testicles, right? When that transition happens at 10 weeks time, 10 weeks old, right? And they either move up or they move down. That's it, and they genetically change in that sort of 8 to 10 week period. As we know, the clitoris and the penis basically fall into the society. It is one organ. You don't have two organs, and it can't be two organs. But whether you can sort of call the clitoris a penis, right, and then have a vaginal cavity, well, that's a different thing altogether. But would the urethra be in the clitoris? Again, I don't think so. There's a lot of fairy tales out there, but I've done a lot of study in the area, and I've yet to see what they call scientific journal proof of hermaphrodite, where they actually have both genitalia as defined genitalia. So it does. It's hermaphrodite. It does encompass a number of intersex conditions, right? But it comes down to like the physical parts that quantify male and female, and it's very hard to sort of, as I said, you don't get there's no man born with two dicks, if you know what I mean. No female is born with two vaginal cavities, so on and so forth. It just does not happen. But there are conditions where the change, it's like a cleft palate, something doesn't completely form in the facial structure, which they now reconstruct. It's a very complex thing. I read something recently that was talked about the fact that giving birth is, just the whole process, that 9-month process of gestating your baby, right? It actually sort of, what it does, it's like a symbiote that is actually sucking the life out of a female, right? And the baby is engorging itself on everything that the woman has to offer. And it's amazing what goes through in that 9 months time, It is. It's like a leech. This is what we call humanity. It's quite good, yeah. But yeah, such is life. This is life goes on. Yeah, cosmetic surgery should always come out of your own pocket. I agree. I agree, Robert, 100%. Yeah, that's right. Look, I said that the taxpayers, and they like to pay their tax. I know plenty of blokes that act big girls blouse. Yes, Mark. I know the ones you mean too. I know plenty of blokes that act like dicks. Exactly. Anyone know how much penis reduction surgery is in Thailand? Asking for Dallo. That's getting a bit low. Two penises does actually exist. I'm going to have to look that one up. If I can Control C that one and go over to here. Okay, that picture's quite gross. Penile duplication, diphthalic tetraploid or Diphthalasaurus is an extremely rare development abnormality in which the male is born with two penises. The first reported case was by Jonas Job Wecker in 1609. Its occurrence is one in 5.5 million boys in the United States. Really? Well, there you go. We learn something every day. Okay, so I will be stand corrected. Your Google Images search of the day. I know a lot of people born with two dicks because they couldn't be so stupid playing with them. Oh my God. Pop over here, Dalla. I'll fix it up. Anyways, just typing the same thing. Okay, right, good. But yeah, hermaphroditism. That was what we were talking about there. There's a lot of images out there, and we know how good Photoshop can be in sort of certain situations. I personally don't know anybody in that sort of area. I know a lot of Sao Song. Came home from last night's little outing with the boys, with with it, 4 of them in the front yard having barbecue. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, so you can ask me anything about lady boys. Don't ask me about diphalia. I think it would be diphalia. Yeah, as in the phallus. Di as in two phalluses. Diphalia, I think would be the correct way to pronounce that. Yeah, and that picture looks. I'm not even going to show it. Oh my God, it looks fucking gross. Anyway, moving right along. I think Todd's speechless.
No, I'm just keeping an eye on the chat and making sure everyone behaves. And I mean, it is an interesting topic. A lot of people, like you said, just go, "Oh, it's black and white." There is no black and white, and some percentage is to do with psychological. I suppose I wouldn't say issues, but it's psychological differences. And I don't know whether that's environmental or genetical, but you have to go with it. I've seen a lot of the world. I've seen the good and bad in humanity, and if someone identifies as someone that we don't see as the norm, I look at that as discriminatory. It's discriminatory. Because that's based on your experiences, that's based on your environment, that's based on your upbringing. You cannot judge or alienate someone because of their feelings, their beliefs, and how they look at life. And we've spoken about that many times on Discord, and that's why I'm so happy that you try and get people to talk on Discord because you can be open and honest about it.
I don't have to beat around the bush with certain words to use, you know.
Yeah. But I think if you judge someone on their identity, whether it be sexual, racial, or religious, that's more for you because you're missing out on experiencing a better life yourself. That's probably my way of putting it. I see people. I don't see someone that is dressing up in women's clothing as unusual. It's what they choose to do. Would I do it? No, but that's my thing. What I do is my personal thing. I don't put it on anyone else. The line that I don't like is where someone says, right, this is my life, it's different to yours, I will make you choose. Because I mean it's a personal thing. So to me, all people, and like I said, I've seen the bad in humanity. If I see, so my benchmark is pretty low. So if I see something beautiful above that benchmark, to me it's beautiful. There is no categorization. That's probably the best way of putting it. So I mean, I hang out with Chanya and her friends and have an awesome time. There's videos of us going Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. They are beautiful women. In my eyes, they are beautiful women. So you can't get me, in my head, you can't get any simpler than that. When you start judging someone, you're not judging them, you're judging your own thought process.
We have a term coined by Timothy Leary and Robert Anton Wilson, which was quite well banded around in the circles of study that I've done, called reality tunnel. And everybody's reality tunnel is different. I have a very broad reality tunnel, and I, often gets me into trouble because of the fact that I do see more scope in the duality of life than most people. And I always I try to sort of put myself in another person's shoes and see it from their perspective. It's a bit of an art form in itself, and it helps you understand people. But I think when it comes to the dating game, there's two types of people really in the dating game. There's the people who just want to frack. I'll use that word, frack. That's all they want. They're not looking for anything else. And there's the other people who are looking for a connection, right? And it's really, out of all the people I've seen in relationships and in long-term relationships, it's the people that made a connection, right? Well, Chanya likes to use the word, a heart connection. There's a heart connection you make with somebody, that they are your partner, and that's what me and Chanya have. We've got a heart connection. Love everything she does. She's just crazy. She's off the wall. She's in a bunya on. She's ding dong. She's everything. And you've seen the videos. We just love our life together. But not many people ever get to that connection point. It's more about the sex, and I think when a relationship starts and focuses around the sex, it's a relationship that's destined to fail. You need to be out there looking for that connection. What makes this partnership work for you, right? Because invariably, what works for you may not work for her. There's Florence Litterhauer. She wrote a very good book series around the 5 love languages. It's again a great read if you get a chance to read those. You've got to speak to the person in their love language. You've got to understand what floats their boat before the connections will ever work. I know what Chanya's love languages are, and it's quite broad, and I know what percentages of what work. She knows what works for me, and that's why it continues to work after 13 years. I loved my ex-wife Angie. We really hit it off quite well. She was real tomboyish, but a lot of that was being young, and we just drifted apart. We didn't have that heart connection, we were playing the game of being married, because that's what society wanted from us. I know the fact that after 5 years of relationship we got married, and one of the reasons we got married was we were pressured by the grandparents. They wanted us to be married because that's their way. It's not our way, this is life. But I don't sort of deny the fact that we got married and we had a pretty good life together, but we just drifted apart. Chanya and me, well, that's it. We'll die here. Well, I'll die before she will, of course, but that's the way it's going to be. Again, I hope she really groks that idea, because it's one of those things that, it's probably the only thing that's negative about the age difference in the relationship is the fact that, we have an expiry date. And unfortunately I will expire before she will. I just want to make sure she's fully set up, she's fully, into business and running her salons and her salon chain and being a successful businesswoman. That's what I look forward to in my future life together with her. Because she will put me in a grave somewhere, or she'll put me in the crematorium and will be sprinkled across the Tarchan or PopeKael River somewhere, That's what's going to happen. Face the fact, I think we tend to avoid the elephant in the room most of the times. Anyway,
two definites in life:
yeah.
taxes, no matter where you are, and death.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's an old cliche, but you look at everything else. There's no certainties. I mean, you look at my life. I was in the media before I went to the military. I mean, you asked Todd from his media days, would I ever put a uniform on and go off to the Middle East? I would have said, using the battle collect, there's no fracking way I'd do that. But it happened. So the only two certainties are taxes and death. So what you do in between, as I said before, if you're a judgmental type person, you're going to have a shallow life. You're not going to experience anything.
It's a playground.
Yeah. You can have your little bubble.
Yeah.
If you are non-judgmental, you're open to different things. And if I just use the plain thing of cuisine, I know a lot of people say, "Oh yeah, I'll come to Thailand and I'll try different cuisines." Well, try it. Don't just say I'll have pad Thai every night or PopeKael every night. There is a lot more out there, and if you try it once and you don't like it, fine.
Yeah.
If you try it once and you go, holy shit, I've been missing out on this for most of my life, what's going on?
That's it. Shannon,
That's all
I am all for connections, especially specialising in disconnections. After 17 years of marriage, I am focused on disconnections. I wanted to get into wife swapping, tried swapping the ex-wife for a second-hand boat, no takers. Oh, right, okay. Jack Dorrow was Gary Chapman wrote Gary Chapman. When I read the book, maybe it was Florence Litterhow was the name that was bandied around when I read the book. But yeah, I do believe it's Gary Chapman. That's right. Yes. Yeah, it's mentioned wrote Personalities Plus. That's the one. Yeah. Todd, what are you doing for Anzac Day? Oh, okay.
Anzac Day. Anzac Day, I, for the last few years, have commemorated it in my own way. Not sure what I'm going to be doing in Thailand. I've spoke to Marky Mark about attending something. But again, my personal choice, I've got personal experiences to do with the military. I remember and commemorate it in my way. Other people may think that is not right. I've got to go to a cenotaph somewhere, I've got to go to a memorial somewhere, put my medals on and showboat. I don't showboat. I did a job. I would do that job again tomorrow. But to me, it's about my own personal memories, my own personal experiences. So I really don't know this year. This year is completely different. I've changed my life, and we'll see what happens. But I will observe my own commemorative type situation. Whether other people are involved, yeah, probably personal friends that I know here in Thailand, I'll invite. I don't expect them to jump at it, because this is my personal experience. Again, it's all about choices.
There is something that is run down in Hore Hin. It's a motorcyclist convention thing that happens around that time. I've been invited along for the last 5 years to go and do the ride. So we ride down to the what do you call it, the cemetery.
Yep.
Where all the ex-servicemen have been sort of buried there, and there's a special commemoration. And so again, I would have to ride solo going down and ride solo going back because of where I live compared to everybody else. But I've thought about it, and maybe it's 25 days away, isn't it? 24 days away. We've got a bit of time to work on that one. Maybe we'll do something. But I'll do some research to see if it's worth us getting the bikes and going down. It'd be a good ride. We've got all the camera gear. Well, by Monday I should have all the camera gear all set up. So who knows?
Yeah, I mean the options there. I mean, Jack just said get a couple of former military people together and play tour. I mean, that's a suggestion we can make for Susie. It's the Aussie bar.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I'll be honest. The last 2 Anzac days, I spent alone because that was a personal choice. I was going through issues. If you've chatted with me on Discord, you probably understand a few of those. And I had to deal with them the way I wanted to. So yeah, completely off topic today, but again, it's all about choices. I'll never reject anyone's suggestion in regards to how they want to remember, and it is remembering about sacrifice. Whether it's sacrifice of life or sacrifice of personal commitment. I mean, my personal commitment to my work cost me a lot. But am I negative about it? No. I did what I wanted to do. Am I negative about life now? No. If I was negative about life, I wouldn't be in Thailand. I've met awesome people, and for the first time in a long time, I'm quite relaxed. So,
yeah. Robert and Dale just corrected me. Like when I said Hoi, I actually meant Kanchanbury, where the gravesite is. Did that at the River Kwai cemetery. Yeah, there's a big Anzac sort of Camorra. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking about. There is a bike ride thing that goes on and everything else. So we'll talk about it. But yeah, anyway, we've gone past the hour as they do. We try to keep this thing into the hour format, so that it keeps people, busy with their day. There's a big world around there, and we can't all be on the same time zone. And they're about to screw those time zones up again for everybody. So if you're losing out on an hour's sleep, sorry, not my fault. If you're gaining an hour's sleep, what better reason to sleep in? Anyway, we're out of here. Peace out, guys, and we'll catch up with you again next week. We've got a few videos in the can, which could be quite interesting. We'll see how it goes. Don't forget, check Niall's channel out. He's got a video coming up, hopefully, when he releases it, of our little antics last night. I'll be doing one. Go-go hopping, I'll be doing one. I think we've got all the permissions from all the girls, so we're all good. I got a couple of little pixelizations for some customers there that might be in shots. I've got to do some pixelation to move some the gentlemen in these clubs, but that's a bit of work we'll deal out. Anyway, I'm just rambling. I'm getting out of here. Bye for now. I'll find the closing screen. Stephen again's not here to tell us how to do it all, and we're going to remember how to do it ourselves. Okay, bye for now. Peace out.